The Zelda franchise is definitely one of Nintendo's most popular game series, filled with deep characters and lore. The franchise is so notorious for having gaps in the storylines, which have allowed fans to fill them with their own theories by connecting dots found through their analysis. Recently, I watched this awesome video from Zeltik covering his pretty dark theory about the Snow Peak ruins in Twilight Princess. I don't want to deviate any attention away from his video, so I'll quickly explain that the origins of the mansion are not explicitly clear throughout the game. Zeltik's video shows that there are many signs that the purpose behind the location in the game are potentially controversial for the Kingdom of Hyrule. Again, I don't want to negate any attention from his video, so if you have the time, I highly encourage you to check it out. I'll link it at the end of the video as well as in the description below. With that being said, it was after watching his video that I began to think a lot about other things from Twilight Princess that don't really add up. The main thing that got me thinking is the possibility that the hero spirit from Twilight Princess may not be the hero of time. And now I know, this isn't the first time anyone said it, and yes, I know that the Hyrule Historia has confirmed that it is the hero of time from Ocarina of Time. On top of that, the general consensus is that it is Link from Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Anyway, before I get into it, please give this video a quick like and consider subscribing to help me out. Okay. To avoid repeating any information you may have already heard, I'll quickly explain that Link encounters the hero spirit in Twilight Princess, who explains that he's full of regret from not being able to pass the lessons he gained from his life onto those who came after him. The explanation goes that in Ocarina of Time, Link defeats Ganon as an adult, and afterwards, Zelda sends Link back in time to live out his childhood. During this time, the events of Majora's Mask happen, and Link is successful in stopping the moon, but again, time is reversed, which results in yet a second accomplishment from Link as a hero that the world never learns about. It's pretty sad if you think about it. Anyway, that ties in exactly with what the hero's shade is talking about. On top of that, there is the fact that he's left-handed, and the wolf songs are mainly from Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Basically, there's like a million signs pointing to him being Link from the past, and the fact that the Hyrule Historia is straight from Nintendo themselves pretty much seals the deal. However, despite all of the evidence that we've looked at, we're still left with this massive gap between the series of events that occurred between Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess that have yet to be explained. Now, I think we should start by clearly pointing out the obvious things that seem a bit off. The hero Shade's outfit is something we've never seen before. His right eye is missing. His sword and shield are definitely not the traditional Master Sword and Hylian shield. And lastly, one of the biggest discrepancies that I have found is how tall he is compared to Link. What blows my mind more is that when you Google anything about the hero Shade's height compared to Link, no one is really making a major thread going off about how they don't match at all. Everyone has just kind of blindly accepted the fact that, yeah, that's Link, despite the fact that they're nowhere near the same height. At no point in any of the Zelda series does Link get any taller than he is as an adult, and you can clearly see that the hero Shade is much taller than Link from Twilight Princess and every other universe. And we also know that Link in Ocarina of Time, when he's an adult, he's the same height as others around him, if not shorter. So unless he had a continual growth spurt, that alone should be ringing some alarm bells. Anyway, how does this tie in with my epiphany from watching Zeltik's videos? Well, in the mentioned video, there's a discussion of possible experiments being done to create the optimal Hylian guard, where the fight against Darkhammer reveals that he may have possibly been a prototype that was left behind to guard the mansion. Later on, you fight Darknut, which appears to be the refined version of Darkhammer. If you go based on Zeltik's theory that Hyrule Kingdom was trying to make the optimal guard, when you compare Darkhammer to Darknut, you'll find that Darknut is clearly superior as he appears to look more humanoid, which brings me to my next point, which takes the theory even further down the rabbit hole. What if, after Majora's Mask, Link returns to Hyrule to be a guard in the Hylian army and is subjected to becoming one of the experiments that the kingdom works on, thus solving the missing link between Darkhammer and Darknut? I mean, if you compare all three of them together, it looks like Darkhammer was the first prototype, then Link was the humanoid experiment. If you look closely, there's a similarity between Darkhammer and the Hero's Shade, with the banner running down the middle of each of them. Then compare the Hero's Shade having a circular shield to Darknut having a circular shield and a sword like the Hero's Shade. It looks like there's a clear evolution taking place, but that doesn't tell us what happened to Link. If you ask me, I wouldn't be surprised if the innocent hero, terrified of what had become of him, ran away from Hyrule into the Lost Woods looking for his childhood friend Navi. If you remember in the very beginning of Majora's Mask, it says that Link is searching for a friend that he parted with once he fulfilled his heroic destiny. I mean, think about it. Poor Link would have gone through 2 massive adventures, came back into the kingdom that he saved, only to be mutilated, and ran away desperately looking for his friend Navi that he originally left the kingdom searching for in the very beginning. I think it would make a super poetic storyline and a bittersweet ending to the hero. I've read some amazing theories that would answer so many questions, such as his missing eye, which could have been caused by Link using the Lens of Truth so much that his eye gave out, possibly in search of his way out of the Lost Woods or using it to find Navi. At the end of the day, this is just my theory, and I think we desperately need one last traditional Zelda game to give us closure into what happened to Link after Majora's Mask that explains his drastic height difference and the other changes that led to his death and many other things. Anyway, thank you very much for making it through to the end of this video. I apologize for the delay since my last video, as I was recovering from a cold and transitioning into a new job. On top of that, I've been working with the Unreal Engine a lot, and I'm trying to get some assets on the marketplace to be sold, but I've been running into a bit of a roadblock, so I might just upload a video of them and give the content out for free. As usual, thank you again. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to help me keep making more content. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!